redone here. As far as I know, pretty much Burlington High School was one of the first in the state to get it. South Burlington did redo their field, and I don't know what happened to the old field, but pretty sure it was a bond issue. And where the old field went, I really couldn't tell you. Yep.
So you casually mentioned that, and I've heard plenty of stories as well that you work with the NFL at their annual Super Bowl.
Yep.
So how many of those have you managed?
I don't manage them.
Well, I mean, as far as the turf goes,
I'm the last link on a long chain, but no, I have a pretty good role. I've done the last. Let's see, my first Super Bowl was January of 2000, and that
wow.
was let's see, maybe in 2001 it was the Giants and the Ravens.
Yep.
And then I've done every one since then. So I think if you add them up, this would be I've done 20 now because this was 2021.
Yep.
This past Super Bowl. So, and hopefully keep going. It's been a great gig, and I love Vermont in the winter, but I'm not skiing anymore because of the price and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But it's a real nice break to go somewhere warm, which 9 times out of, well, I'd say 99 out of 100 Super Bowls in a warm weather city. We did go to Detroit one year. New York was absolutely miserable, and I didn't mind working in the cold because I was used up here.
Mm-hmm.
The worst part of it was the travel, and we stayed probably 45, 50 minutes, maybe an hour from MetLife Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, that year we had more snow down there than you had up here, and the roads were bad, and you'd be driving home, track trailers, jackknife. You couldn't pump your own gas in Jersey, still that way. So you pull into a gas station, people getting their credit card numbers stolen. And, we get down by our apartments, no gas stations were open. Like after 6 o'clock, we weren't even getting done work till like 9 or 10. And so, it was just, everything turned into like a pain in the butt, but it was good overall.
Yeah, I think New Jersey's the last state to do that, right?
Uh,
Or is there? I wonder
the
if some
cold weather, you
counties.
mean?
Well,
We did go to
pumping
Minnesota.
pumping their own gas.
Oh, yeah, Oregon. Oregon's
Oregon does
another
it
one.
too.
Yep.
We
Yep.
there's a mutual friend that one of the other roommates and I have, and she's from New Jersey.
Yep.
And when she went to pump her gas, I wasn't there. He told me about it. She tried to put the money in the machine like it was a vending machine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's, the one thing which I did because you probably never knew him, but Coach Bob McCarthy, who was Burlington High School's football coach years ago. But anyway, I think he went to visit his daughter, and he was in Jersey, and I think his daughter lived in Jersey, and he gave the guy a credit card, and he's sitting there, and they have attendance. So the guy filled his car with gas. Well, a couple hours later, he's getting a call from Visa, like, "Did you buy this in Texas?" and all that stuff. They stole his card and his number.
Wow.
And so I knew from hearing that, and I knew we weren't gonna, I went to like Hannaford's and I bought a $300 gift card.
That's smart.
And that's where I bought all my gas. I didn't have any problems, but I think we had one or two people that might have had problems, and so it's just something we avoided that way. But
So if that was your roughest Super Bowl, what would be the best?
ooh, I'd say, I mean, I like Tampa. Miami's pretty crowded and stuff. Arizona's been good. My third Super Bowl was San Diego, and San Diego's a great city and stuff. But back in those days, we didn't have time to do a lot or get out and see stuff and everything. We're just so busy and everything.
Yeah.
But San Diego would have been a fun town, and so now a lot of times we got it down, and if we're sodding and stuff like this year in Miami, things went a lot smoother than the last time in Miami. And so, we still get out to eat quite a bit or just get out and see the town or, that type of thing. And actually, all the COVID stuff, I have relatives that are not too far from Miami, so I stayed an extra week, went and visited her. And I think I left and came back to Vermont just in the nick of time. As soon as I got back, it was probably mid to third week of February. That's when everything started heating up.
Yeah.
And so, I probably just lucked out, wasn't thinking of it. And,
Yeah. Well, I read this article earlier this year, and their whole argument was if San Francisco would have won, they think the outbreak could have been worse because they already had a lot of cases there. So if they had a celebration there, they think it would have just exploded.
It could
So,
have.
yeah.
I've heard that rumor. I've heard also that like, San Francisco got hit and they were able to overcome it, and whatever, and then I don't know, but
Um, so going back to the Super Bowls because
yep.
I'm super interested in this.
Oh yeah, no
Um,
problem.
so what was it like when the lights went out?
I was in New Orleans.
Yep.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
that. I got a picture on my phone. I was wearing a head thing. It was a little scary. I was standing in the end zone by a goalpost,
Mhm.
and there was two other guys with me, and we kind of we didn't know what to do or anything, but it was like, all right, stay tight. If something's gonna happen, run straight back. I mean, the first year after 9/11, which would have been like 2002.
Mhm.
We were in New Orleans that year. The year the lights went out was the last one. That was San Francisco, and I think it was the Ravens.
Yep.
And but anyway, people had their, there's always the big event to attack. It'd be the Super Bowl,
That's the first
and
thing that went through your mind was you thought it was a terrorist attack?
Uh, you kind of. I mean, the guy next to me did. I mean,
Oh,
he
okay.
was a little nervous.
Yeah.
I just sit there. I'm not gonna live my life in fear.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like the COVID thing. But the last when that was Colin Kaepernick was the quarterback, and
Oh,
I think
okay.
it happened right as the second half started or something like that, or maybe it was the end of the first half, or but it was kind of. I said, wait a minute, there's got to be a little more something to it. But when you look at the presence of the military and the FBI and all that stuff, it's pretty secured. I mean, it's so I got to place my confidence in that.
Hmm.
And it's like I could give you a story which I don't know if you know, but um, I'll do like one of my roles is like I'm on the field quite a bit, but I'm not out. I'm not one holding the gun, painting or something like that. Usually, I'm usually back, make sure equipment's cleaned or running or everything's right. But I usually drive the Penske. We usually rent a 24-foot Penske, and we'll have that to transport equipment to the practice sites and anywhere else. Like we paint the NFL experience, we paint both practice sites. A lot of times we'll paint parking lots. We'll put a whole football field in the parking lot so that halftime can rehearse and everything.
Yep.
Otherwise, they're stomping our sod, which it used to be when I first started. Halftime pregame would practice like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday was walkthrough. Um, you know, repaint everything after people walk through because you tell them, hey, the white paint's wet. Doesn't matter. They all walk through it, and they got their families out there and the little kids.
Yeah.
Now you're well a week before when they're having walkthroughs and halftime rehearsals, and even though sometimes we'll put tarps out over brand new sod and stuff like that, you still got 3,000 people out there stomping on it. And when they do a rehearsal, for them to go through about 3 full runs will be anywhere 8 to 12 hours. So I mean, it's an all-day affair. For us, we're just kind of sitting back doing nothing,
Hmm.
read the newspaper, hang out, call your girlfriend, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at was when if we go out to like say we're in Tampa and we go to University of South Florida, and that'll be uh, let's see, Tampa Bay's National League. The National League team will practice at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers facility.
Hmm.
The American League team would practice at like University of South Florida. Either way, we go with our truck and we paint them and stuff. But when everybody goes out, we all have vehicles and stuff, and everybody will go back and they'll have to go through security to get back into the stadium. When I'm driving the truck, I usually have somebody with me. I've got to go through what's called VACUS, and it's vehicle something, all this big long term. And you might be like, just for example, if the stadium was where UVM is, uh,
Hmm.
Vacus could be out at the end of 127 for Colchester. So then I go through Vacus, and it'll be all these military guys. I mean, they got every piece of armor on. They got dogs sniffing. They're sniffing the whole truck. They open up the whole truck. They got cameras underneath. They got a big, huge truck that's got this big boom, and it goes over your. It can go over tractor trailers, anything, and they'll drive down the whole line. It's got all radar and everything.
Yeah.
If you like, one time I took my phone out, take a picture of it. They were ready to confiscate my phone. No pictures. No.
Really?
Oh yeah, no nothing. So then once you clear Vacus, they realize, okay, he's just got paint and equipment and everything. You get in the line. There used to be 4 or 5 um, vehicles that went through Vacus, whether they're tractor trailers or whatever. And so then you line up, and then they'll tell you, okay, when we start moving, you do not stop. Is you stop, you get out of the line, you go back to the beginning and start all over. So there'll be a Humvee up front, all these military guys, machine guns, everything, and that line goes, and then there'll be a couple Humvees behind you with cops, lights, and sirens. So when you're coming down 127, there's cops there. They got traffic all stopped. Lights might be red, green, doesn't matter. You just keep driving right through it. You just follow the train, and everybody else, you see cars slamming on their brakes, cops out there stopping. It's pretty neat, It's like,
And that's because you guys are cleared and you're
yeah,
part of
and
the
you can't,
facilities.
yeah,
So.
because if you get out of the line or do something, then you could be contaminated. Meaning, somebody
Yep.
could put a gun in your truck or
Yeah.
bomb or God knows what,
Yeah.
So, but it's when I first couple times of doing that, it's pretty cool because you're going through major highways and streets, and I'm trying to think. It was Atlanta. Atlanta was. It was a couple years ago. It was a long ways from it, from the stadium where they had Vacas set up, and I mean we were crossing roads and everything. Cars just all lined up, stopped, and here's a train coming through. 10, 11 vehicles and
Wow.
cops and oh yeah, but the cops and FBI and all the security they got, and it's and then I'm trying to think. I know in Houston one year, I mean the security's always wicked tight. It's gotten tighter every year, but in the first year in Houston, which was I think my 4th or 5th Super Bowl, was we had 3 presidents there. And I was from me to you. They all walked by. It was Clinton, George Bush Sr., and George Bush Jr. And I mean, I could have lunged out and grabbed anyone. Not that you're gonna,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, obviously,
It puts it in perspective.
but
Yeah.
it's just saying that's where they're so tight on
Wow.
security. Like, I couldn't have a knife, couldn't have a Leatherman, couldn't have, I mean, once you get in the stadium doing your job and stuff, but they parade them all through, and usually every Super Bowl there's some pretty high level person. They actually, before George Sr. passed away, they brought him out in a golf cart, and I think that was the last Super Bowl in Houston a few years ago. But he was to the point he wasn't really walking well or anything like that.
Yeah, he flipped the coin, didn't he?